All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about a little discussion on how we're going to train a reactive dog, ideally how we're going to train a reactive dog. And so if you have a reactive dog, the first thing I want you to be thinking about is our priority, first of all, is not allowing our dog to practice behaviors that are going to be working against us as we're working on their reactivity. So I know this can be a little bit challenging, but if your dog is reacting at other dogs or people, it's practicing behaviors that are working against us. So we want to try and avoid those situations the best we can. Our priority in training is going to be increasing our engagement and eye contact. So if you have a reactive dog, you need to find a place based on your living situation, your setup, on where you can focus on this without getting your dog to react at other people or other things. So if you live in an apartment complex, this could be a little bit complicated. You'll need to go down to the general grassy or open areas of the apartment complex and try to find one that's a little bit further away from other people or dogs so you can focus on your engagement and eye contact. If you live in condos, maybe you have a small backyard, you can go in your backyard. If you live in a house, maybe you have a front yard, backyard, figure out which one's gonna be lower distraction environment so that you can increase your engagement and eye contact from your dog. Now, with that being said, you can also use the inside of your house as well to build this up. But your focus is, number one, prevent your dog from practicing behaviors that are working against you, which is those reactive behaviors. Number two, you're gonna focus on your engagement and eye contact. Now, we have a video on our YouTube channel talking about your dog's eye contact, building up your dog's eye contact and our eye contact drills. I recommend you look at that video because the first eye contact drill we wanna work on is our down stay eye contact drill. So you'll put your dog in a down and then you'll start moving around them, which means you do need to work on your obedience as well. But you get your dog in a down, you start rewarding them for paying attention to you, giving you strong eye contact. Now what you're looking for is, as you move around your dog, as you're walking around your dog is constantly keeping a focus on you as you're walking around. You say good, you reward that. Once you have that solidified in your normal training area to where you can walk all the way around your dog, they're keeping that high level of focus on you, then you're gonna change up your training area to a different training area. So for example, if you've been doing this in your house or in your apartment, you're then gonna take it outside to an outside area, do the same thing, downstay eye contact drill. You're looking to maintain that level of that eye contact in your new location. Once your downstay eye contact drill is solid, where you're doing it in, let's just say for example, inside your house, inside your apartment, then outside somewhere, your dog has laser focus on you. Now you're moving on to your healing eye contact drill. Your healing eye contact drill, you're actually in motion, you're walking. Dog should be on your side, could be your left side, right side, whatever your preference is. But while you're walking, your dog looking up at you, okay? So when your dog's looking up at you, you say good, you reward them, and you want them to maintain that eye contact despite what's going on around you. So you could start this in your house, in your apartment as well. You could also do it in your backyard, your front yard as well, or a different outdoor area. But again, same concept applies. You start in a very neutral, simple area, then you take it to an area with more complexities or distractions to it. Now, with that being said, while you're doing your healing eye contact drills, also focus on your dog's body adherence. So as you are walking, let's say you want to turn around very sharply to the left, you do a sharp left turn. Your dog should be adjusting their body very rapidly to your body while maintaining eye contact. The reason why these eye contact drills are more important for a reactive dog than a non-reactive dog is because if your dog feels like they're distracted by something or maybe they want to react at something, we want their default behavior to be to look at you instead of do that reaction. So that's where these eye contact drills come into play. And if they're the foundation of everything we do, it helps us tackle that reactivity better in the future. It gives our dogs options of how to behave and how to perform. Now, with that being said, once the downstay eye contact drill and healing eye contact drill are solidified with you and your dog, you've done it in your, let's just say in your house, in your apartment, and in your yard areas. Now we're ready to start increasing our distractions and we're ready to start increasing our obedience. So I'd be focusing on your obedience work as well. What obedience work does with the reactive dog is it gives them behavioral options. So again, if they feel like they need to react at something, they can select from an obedience command, right, that we've taught them, and do that instead of do their reactive behavior, okay? So we would teach them how to heel, how to sit, how to down, how to stay, how to come on command. Once those are done, then we would implement corrections or accountability for not performing those behaviors. And what that does, the corrections and accountability, we teach it with obedience commands, both leash corrections and remote collar conditioning and remote collar accountability, so we have our invisible leash there. But what that does for us is it gives us a way to communicate to our dog when they're doing something right or wrong, okay? So that again, it helps us when we're dealing with a reactive dog. So now that we have our eye contact done, now that we have our obedience done, we have corrections, now we're gonna refocus on distraction training, generalization training, and socialization with our reactive dog. So socialization is giving our dog positive experiences and close proximity to people, places, and things. So taking your dog out to a distraction area that could be a park, could be a store, could be, you know, whatever, right? A farmer's market, something like that. You take your dog out there, you're focused on your eye contact because that's helping your dog build on positive experiences in these new places with new people, places, and things around them. You don't have to interact with anybody. You don't have to interact with other dogs. We just need positive experiences in new locations. So that's your socialization. Your generalization and your distraction work is making sure that your dog understands to perform these obedience behaviors or other behaviors that you've taught them no matter where you go. So if you go out to the park, you ask your dog to down, you ask them to heel, you ask them to come, you make sure they understand to do those things. If they're not doing those things because they're distracted, you use your accountability to help make sure your dog can perform in those situations, okay? So those are the things you're focused on at that point. You make sure you get your distraction work in. Now with reactive dogs, there's a possibility, a probability that at a certain point, some distraction is going to entice our dog to react or get a reaction from our dog. What that means is we need to think about our threshold to distraction, which is our distance to distraction. So if I'm 10 feet away from a dog, for example, and my dog starts to react, I'll move 20 feet away. If I can get 20 feet away and my dog can stay focused, my dog can do eye contact drills, my dog can do obedience, no problem. That means somewhere between 20 to 15 feet is where I want to focus on my training and then slowly reduce over time my distance to that dog distraction and not get a reaction from my dog. So if I start at 20 feet, I've got no problem. I go to 15 feet. If my dog can operate at 15 feet with no problem, I go to 10 feet. 10 feet, let's say I have a little bit of, my dog is wanting to react a little bit, I go out to 12 feet. At 12 feet from that distraction, my dog's fine, no problem. I go back to 10 feet. At 10 feet, now my dog's good to go. I go to 8 feet. So far and so forth. Get as close as you want to those distractions that's safe for you and your dog, but make sure your dog can perform all these behaviors you've taught them, your eye contact, your obedience. Make sure they can perform all of that as you reduce your threshold to distraction. So that is gonna be our overall game plan for working on reactivity with a reactive dog, training a reactive dog. Again, make sure your dog doesn't practice behaviors that are working against you. Get your eye contact drills solid, get your obedience down, get your leash and remote collar conditioning and corrections in, focus on your socialization and generalization and distraction work. And then at that point, all you're focused on is your threshold work, okay? And from there, then you'll be good to go. So please let us know in the comments below if this helped you. Also let us know if you've tried any of these things and what troubleshooting steps you're taking, because every dog's a little bit different. There might be some little tweaks to the training that we need. So that's where our expertise in troubleshooting comes in. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.